Welcome back to this week's interview. Today I have Ethan with us, a super talented musician, and let's get behind the armor. Okay, Ethan, do you want to introduce yourself? Like, what do you do and what's your hobbies?
Well, I'm Ethan Wonder. I do a lot of the music programs here at Lone Peak and a lot of those opportunities.
Awesome. What programs are you in?
At the school, I'm with the Advanced Jazz Band, the Advanced Wind Ensemble, and the Pop and Rock Group.
Okay. What do you play?
Saxophone in all three.
That's pretty cool. um, so do you do anything outside of school, or is it just all school stuff?
With music, I'm part of an outside group called the Sound House, and then I like playing with my friends, just jamming out with them. It's always fun.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Like, what do you do at Soundhouse? Is that like a band or?
It's just another group where kids can go outside of school and play with kids from different schools and play different genres of music.
It's pretty cool. What do you like play the most of? Like, what's your favorite style to play?
Uh, I like playing a lot of jazz stuff, and a lot of like pop, and that kind of stuff is also a lot of fun.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. I really like jazz too. I think it's a really interesting style. How long have you been playing all your instruments?
My mom started me on piano when I was like 4 years old, and then I picked up saxophone at like seventh grade, and then I've just been playing that since.
Okay, awesome. What would you say like is your favorite part about being a musician? Like, what's that process like?
Like the process of getting good at instruments and like learning new techniques and learning how to play like professionals and just getting closer and closer like your goals over time. It's pretty cool to see how much someone can progress in like a year or even a month, like learning so many new things. And you can never run out of things to learn.
That's awesome. Well, if you could learn a new instrument right now, like what would you pick up?
Uh, I regret not playing like anything percussion wise. I feel like that's something I kind of missed out on, which I didn't even consider until now. I think I would try that if I could start over and pick another one.
Yeah.
I would do percussion.
Nice. Well, you said that you're in a couple groups here at Lone Peak. Which one would you say is your favorite?
Not supposed to pick favorites, but jazz band is really nice. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Super cool. I recommend anyone that can play instruments to like try out for it. Like both jazz bands and the pop and rock group, there's always a spot for beginners, intermediate, or advanced players, and it's fun to try it out and play with people that are equally committed to the craft.
Yeah, it's awesome. What is that class kind of like? What's the environment like?
Well, for jazz band, Miss Kim helps us run songs. We just go rapid fire. We just try to get through as much content as we can. We play at festivals and we play at all these different venues and everything. And it's a lot of fun. You can meet a lot of new people, and it's just fun playing at these venues and just seeing how much your group can grow. Pop and rock is different from jazz this year because it's our first year doing it, and it was very student ran, and it was interesting to see like all these different leadership qualities and all these different students. It was interesting to see all these different song choices that all these students had. It was fun to play all these songs because like some kids were like, I really wanted to play this song since I like this like blank number of years ago, and then would just play all these different songs that all these kids have really wanted to play. And then it's been cool to be part of that and see how much we can grow as a group. And then we recently had a performance at the Boardwalk, which was really nice venue. It was really generous for the people at the Boardwalk to give it to us, and it was a really neat opportunity for Lone Peak to play there. We played alongside another college pop group, which was it was educational experience.
Awesome. Well, it seems like you guys have like a bunch of performing opportunities and like cool stuff like that. Yeah. I heard that this week you'll be going on a jazz band tour, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
What does that consist of?
So we're going to all these different colleges around the state. If I remember right, we're going to go to BYU, UVU, SUU, Utah Tech, and U of U, and we're going to learn from their professors, meet all their different alumnus and students, and just learn how these programs roll to get our heads turning towards different programs and see which ones we prefer. Gives us the opportunity to learn how these college bands work, to learn and meet all these new professors and have like bump shoulders with them.
Yeah.
Should be equally cool. And then I think overall it just gives a lot of the jazz kids an opportunity to learn like what college they really do want to go to, and having a firsthand experience where we're in the college and we're watching all these students play will give us a lot of opportunities to learn.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it would be a party. Have you been on tour before?
Yeah, last year with Lone Peak, we went to Gen Conference, which is the Jazz Educators Network, and
Okay.
which was in New Orleans.
Oh, fun.
And then it gave the jazz band an opportunity to play with bands all across the nation and get clinicked by, oh, I can't talk, to be clinicked by some really good professors, one of which was actually the one at U of U, which
Oh,
was a neat experience. And then we just got to tour the city a lot. We got to meet a lot of cool people. And overall, jazz band tour was really good that year.
that's awesome. Well, I've been to New Orleans and I thought it was really fun. I imagine that for someone like you who is really interested in jazz and that craft, that must have been really nice because there's just jazz everywhere. Like around each street corner, there's someone playing. There's like a little band set up in the corner. It's awesome. So that's really cool. Well, do you think that you're going to keep playing throughout college and like throughout your whole life, or what are your other interests? Do you have anything that you want to study?
I mean, there's always a lot of other stuff to study other than music. There's so many things that I've been interested in, like business or like environmental science and all that kind of stuff. But I think what a lot of people, at least what I've noticed from some of my friends that are in college, is that they just stop playing music once they get into college, even though like if you look hard enough, there's opportunities to still play, like whether it's like a gig in a restaurant or like someone needs like a pianist at a wedding, or someone you can still teach, like maybe someone really wants a drum teacher in your neighborhood. I think even if you don't major in music in college, which a lot of people don't do when they play music, there's still opportunities to play.
Yeah, for sure. Knowing that music is a very social thing, what do you think that benefit, like, what has the benefit been of being in so many bands with so many different people that you get to meet, and how are those friendships, like, helping you out?
I think it's just the connections you make, learning how other people work in a music environment, like translates into other aspects of my life, like a scouting program or service activities. Like you have to learn how to communicate. You have to learn how to communicate right. And then in music, where everyone's so passionate, it's easy to see so many emotions. Like in every single group, so many emotions just get really out of control really fast from the passion that all these musicians share with each other. And then I think with music, the best thing to learn is how to communicate with other people and how to be smart with your communication and how to be able to establish control in a room and how to be able to be a good listener. Finding a balance between that is so important. And I think music has taught me a lot about that, on what to look for and how to be a leader. Like,
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah. That's definitely a really valuable skill. And yeah, I think that's great. For people who are interested in picking up an instrument, I know a lot of people maybe don't want to start because they think it's too late. What would you say about that?
It's never too late to start. I think we have so many classes that offer beginners an opportunity to learn a new instrument, such as guitar, ukulele, intro to drum set, pop and rock. If you want to learn a new instrument, or if you just want to sing, that's a great opportunity. I highly recommend that. And I wish anyone that had intentions to learn some musical instrument, takes one of these classes, because it gives students a unique opportunity to learn in a judgment-free environment.
Yeah, that's awesome. Say outside of music, what else do you do? Do you play any sports or anything like that?
I just like play casually with my friends in sports. I was part of the scouting program at 13, and then on my Eagle, and now I kind of just watch from the sidelines and watch everyone else progress.
Okay.
And then I do a lot of service-oriented stuff during the summer, which are some cool summer camps, which would be cool to recommend at Lone Peak Live sometime. But that's what I do during the summer.
Okay, that's pretty cool. What are some of like really cool opportunities that you think you're gonna remember forever? What stands out to you?
Just the people I've met here at Lone Peak. Like, I never realized how good all these people are at Lone Peak and how like good of people they are and how good at their crafts, whether it be sports, music, dance, like all this stuff. I never realized how good it is until I go to like other schools' programs and I go like, I'm very grateful to be surrounded by these kids at Lone Peak who are good influences for me. They push me. They set examples for me. Um, Lone Peak's a special school in that environment, and I think having, for myself, having opportunities to meet kids from different schools and to learn from them has made me more grateful for the opportunities that Lone Peak has given me.
Oh yeah, I definitely think Lone Peak is really special in that way as well. There's definitely a lot of like it's just such a nice environment of people who are there to support each other and definitely push each other as well. So yeah, that's awesome. Who has been a big influence in your life or in your musical career, and just who motivates you the most to really try to get better?
Um, like I mentioned before, a lot of the students really push me, and um, they set a really high bar for skill, and I have to always climb to reach that. And then one person that taught me that was my teacher, my music teacher when I was in middle school at Mountain Ridge. He really taught me like how good you can possibly be, and he taught me the benefits of music, and I'm grateful for his example he set me. And then my private teacher, who was a student here at Lone Peak when he taught me at the time,
Oh, wow.
showed me how good Lone Peak kids were, and he let me tag along to these different concerts and performances, and he gave me opportunities to see Lone Peak like 4 or 5 years ago, and then it's allowed me to see the growth from 4 or 5 years ago to today.
That's awesome. Um, so you're part of jazz band and pop and rock ensemble. Are you also part of marching band as well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome. How is that? I heard you guys just revealed your new show for next year.
Yeah, we did. The theme is Piano Man. We have very extremely talented keyboardists playing
Wow.
that, being our quote unquote piano man. Should be fun.
That's awesome. Do you enjoy marching band? I've heard a lot of things about it. What do you think about it?
It's really tough. I think you can easily overestimate how hard it's gonna be. I mean, underestimate how hard it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Um, Overall though, it's really nice at the end, like when you're starting to perform at competitions, and then seeing like how well you put up against other schools, and then feeling accomplished for what you've done is nice.
Have you ever won in a marching band? As you've been in it?
Yeah, I'd like to say 4 or 5. I don't remember. State championships back to back to back, and which is
Wow.
really nice. And then next year as in this summer, we're going to go to the Grand Nationals competition down in Indianapolis
Okay, wow.
and perform there.
That's awesome. Well, it seems like you keep yourself pretty busy. um, that's awesome. Is there any advice you'd want to give to anyone out there that you haven't already given?
Um, just don't stop what you're doing. Don't stop your craft. Just find opportunities to keep playing it past high school, whether it be really small, you're just teaching someone something, or you're just like gigging around, or like in sports, you're just staying physically active. I think maintaining those habits is probably the most important thing for someone to do. Even if you're not actively doing it every single day, just the habits that you established here at Lone Peak if you can keep it going throughout high school and keep these good habits going throughout the rest of your life, it'll go a long way.
That's awesome. Yeah, music has a lot of amazing benefits for sure. Thank you so much for coming in today, Ethan. It has been awesome talking to you. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this week's episode of Behind the Armor. We'll see you guys again next week.